All right, hello everyone. Welcome to the Dark Roast with your host Kai Dorsey, and I am here today with
Brenna Perez. Nice to speak to whoever's listening, I suppose.
All right, so this is basically the decaf session of the Dark Roast, and it'll be a little different from the norm. This is more so I want to get like a female perspective, one, and then two, kind of just converse with on a different spectrum, and someone who thinks a little differently than our current Dark Roast co-host. So anyway, to get into it, Brenna, tell everybody about yourself, I guess.
Well, hi, I'm Brenna Perez. If you don't know me already, just to give you a little bit of background information, I am just a normal Antelope Valley resident who is kind of just looking around and just asking questions about general things, and also I do eyelash extensions and microblading, so if you need any of that, let me know. I can give you a good deal, mostly on the microblading. Yeah, so if you're into that permanent makeup, let me know. My professional page is Blade Brows. That's BladeBrows. So check it out. All right, Jeff.
The plug. Okay.
It's attached to a circuit as well.
Yeah. No. Never mind. So we've been conversing a little bit already, like just talking. But it's like, is there anything specifically, like I know we talked about a lot of...
What are your concerns? You said you had concerns about like feminine relationships in your life, Jeff?
Oh yeah. Just because like on like from male perspective, it's always been kind of like I understood like how women were treated and understood. I got it. Like I grew up with a single mom until like I was 6. You know what I mean? That's first grade, but still, you know, when you like you remember everything, like you know, like you know what I mean, like
yeah, you have memories from that time that are still come to the forefront every so often.
Yeah, like how
triggered.
Yeah, how a man should treat a woman, you know, how she's supposed to, how she reacts, you know what I mean, then how she, and a lady's like supposed to act, you know, have like
what your values now are based on.
Yeah.
From past experiences and what you witnessed living with your mom.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, you know, like, for me, it was like watching her be independent and who she was, like, and then what she is when she's like, I guess, more domesticated, you know, from wild to being tamed, it was like, it was a big, like, okay, this is different, this is cool, you know, like, being married and for like 18 years now, you know, it's amazing because like I got to see someone actually do it, and everybody talks about how, you know, nothing ever lasts forever or blah blah blah, and that sense there, it's just kind of more so like I feel like we've even kind of put that to like how we treat women, and we make them more like as the male perspective, they're more like it's more objective, like they're more objects, they're not like their human value and the value as beings, period. I kind of feel like it's a little pushed to the left, and that's funny, to the left, because of the oh my gosh. Anyway,
the
like
guys,
yeah,
the
like
liberal.
Yeah, like,
anyway,
you know, the guy's conservative for the most. Well, nowadays it's just kind of hard to tell, but I think that's what a lot of people kind of deal with too. Is like how to handle the feminine energy inside of them, and like how to display that the correct way. Because it's like we kind of get told like, you know, the male is supposed to be strong, blah blah blah, but we don't. We're starting to get it now with even kind of like our movies and makes sure there's a female lead or female comic book characters. Like we're getting that females have empowerment, like in a more basic. We're seeing it a lot more, but I kind of feel like people don't realize that it's always been that way. And it should always like it should always be seen that way. Like the equality is understand that the strengths lie in so many different areas for both sides of the spectrum. And I don't know. That's kind of like my thing is like, how do I discover my male portion of female energy or my female portion of male energy? You know.
Well, it sounds to me, based on what you said, so you said at a young age you had a single mother, and she had to be a go-getter in a world that is really not woman. Maybe it's just not woman friendly, you know. Even men, it even eats them up too. So you know, she's out there trying to provide for you, and ultimately, what is traditionally a man's role as well too. So you know, your mom had to display masculine energy. However, she's still this is just how I feel. She still is a woman at the end of the day,
Exactly.
And you can only imitate. You cannot actually be the masculine energy. That's something I truly believe in. You know, I will never understand 100% what it is to be a man.
And vice versa, yeah.
Yeah, but it's just, I don't have those experiences. So for a woman, I don't know what her early life was like, but chances are she acted like a woman most of her life. And then now she has the son. She has to go out in the world and, like, basically, chop her way through and get, like, her income and get everything orderly. And eventually it sounds like she met someone nice who she could settle down with. But she had to have a hardened shell to that world, because there's a lot of, like, just debris that'll chip away at you when you're in that position. So she's trying to show a strong role for you so you can become a strong man, but at the same time, that femininity gets neglected because you're trying to play the man's role. So unfortunately you neglect that feminine side that you have. You have to be tough. You have to maybe hide emotions or hide certain things that, part of being a woman and part of the beauty of it is that empathy, that motherly, maternal feeling, and she no doubt had that role with you as well too, but you saw a lot more of her, perhaps, like, attempt for the masculine side that she had to display for you, whereas now in her later years, with who she's with now, she seems to be in a great position where she can let her guard down and she can embrace that feminine side. And femininity, it's soft and it is comforting, and we enjoy it. That's home almost. And as a woman, a lot of times you're the homemaker, and sometimes when you don't get to enjoy that role, you're stuck compensating for a very confusing role.
Yeah.
I mean, it's confusing, and I don't think anybody has it down 100%, but you just do your best. That's all you can do, is just your best. So my point is that as you grow older, I think that you're seeing more of the feminine side of your mom. So I think that now that you're seeing that, you're learning how to communicate with it, and even the feminine side in yourself. So
yeah, that's definitely a big thing.
So it's just, and that depends on your external relationship. So your relationship with your mother is the first when you form when you're a young man.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. Yeah,
your dating experience is your personal life, and just that's
that's
gonna reflect other conflicts you have to get overcome and conquer. So so I think you're just at that phase where you're getting more in touch with your feminine side, and I think a lot of other people, who grew up in similar situations, are probably dealing with those same emotions. Especially if their moms are finally softening up. They might have been hard asses before, and I mean that in the most endearing way possible. You have to be. It's a tough, cold world.
Yeah, no, that's so true, because you think about how many people actually come from what they label, and they label them broken homes. Like, I feel like they make it seem like someone getting divorced and then getting remarried, or like not getting married at all, having a kid and getting with someone. They call it a broken home. It's like, well, why is it that way? Like, why can't it just be a home altogether? You know what I mean? Like, there has to be a negative aspect on it, like an assertion of negativity.
So as the youth, which we are, the future, we, in the next 10 years, everyone's probably going to start having children if they choose to, or 20 years, whatever. Freeze your eggs if you want. But you most likely are going to make children, and before you do that, just my personal opinion, have those values. What is our culture as America going to be? What's our children, their generation, what values are they going to be raised on? What do we want as of the future? And I think all you can really control are your people that you reproduce, unless you're in a high official government position where you can have high influence upon people who follow you.
Yeah, it's just true.
So what do you want the culture to be? You have to be an example, and I'm sorry, but there is a lot of good examples out there. You have to find them, but they're underrated. Yeah,
they definitely get played under the radar for like it's like, I think it's like it's set up into where we're not supposed to believe that we can change it, and that's what I myself would like to push that so hard, dude. Like, push the fact of, like, we're a generation of people, and we're allowing everybody else's labels to dictate how we live and how we're
But you want to fit in.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. Is why not? Why can't you fit in and still be different, and actually different? Not just when people say it, like they'll hashtag I'm different, or they'll like that's the thing, your hashtag, and then you see everybody else who says it. Well, if all these people are different, but then they're the model of what the epitome of what's popping is right now, or what's relevant. Let's say relevancy, so we don't have to use the slang for other people.
There's usually duplicates of almost anything in the universe, so you just have to get over it.
Yeah, of course, no. Like,
you got like 7 people on the globe that look just like you. Like,
dude,
shit, sorry.
Dude, my mom sent me a picture of a kid from Ethiopia. He has like a gray wig on. It looks like my son or me with the gray wig on when I was younger. Yeah, dude, like, I think that's the whole point of, like, even, like, you get into stuff like chakras and energies and whatnot, and like the crown chakra, the one that helps you like ascend off, into different levels of consciousness and whatnot. Like, that's the right to know that you're one, and like know that like you and everything in this universe, your love, your bonds, they all exist no matter about the great transition or AKA death. You know what I mean? It's like everything is part of a cycle, and we're all part of each other. You know what I mean? Like when you kill that animal, you're killing a part of you, and then you're eating the death of you. Like when you burn a plant burn a forest for no reason. It's like, or chop down a forest. You know what I mean? It's not just because you need houses. It's just because you want to do it or you want to have
something is always consuming something else.
Exactly.
And then whatever was the consumer gets consumed, and then it gets consumed, and then it gets consumed, and then like it's just never ending.
Yeah, but there's a cycle of how to do it right so it can continue. But I feel like people got gluttonous.
Well, how can you not get gluttonous when you get tons of admiration? You have a team of people that follow you around, and this is just like the typical like celebrity.
So would you say like ego?
Well, they're feeding your ego.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're feeding this big ego monster that is your persona, and it allows you to do whatever you want, or people make arrangements for you, or you just are. I don't know what kind of monster that creates. I mean, on a small scale. Look, I get complimented a lot. I'll be real with you. I don't know if you know that or not, but I don't know if you've ever seen this before, but, people will compliment me. And I appreciate it. It means a lot to me. However, you could feed a very dangerous monster with that.
Yeah.
And I think we all see it time to time again, and it's just like you can't let that little, like, fame monster start to get out of control, You start to think you're like this, you get a little god complex, I feel like.
Yeah.
And you need to be careful with that because there's always like a big fly swatter of humbleness that will come down and smite you like so quickly.
Yeah, that's what I feel like. I feel like life gives you like everything you can handle, and like once you like
just be gracious.
Exactly. The humility, it'll bring you. It'll bring you higher. I feel like it lightens your load too. Like you don't stress, you don't worry, you don't have the anxieties. Like you understand the depressions.
You can put your energy towards other endeavors. If you are worrying about the same anxieties every single day, and you're in a pattern, and it's kind of hard to grow. I feel if you're stuck in the same loop. Imagine a Hot Wheels track. Don't you want to like grow your track? Why do you want to go on the same figure 8 all the day?
Exactly. You want to make something new, and that's
like, don't you want to add some loop-de-loops in that bitch? Like,
yeah. Don't you want to
make there's some C4. What is it? Not C4, CO2. What is it? NOS. Let's just NOS the fuck out of my Hot Wheels track.
That would be actually dope to see if it stays on or if it flies off.
You probably have to put some weight on it so it doesn't fly off, but I think if you get the right amount of weight and you put a little bit of that NOS on it and just tweak it just right, I don't know, someone with cars figure that out because I don't know anything about that, but that Hot Wheels, it's lift off.
That'd be so funny. Oh man, that'd be kind of dope, but I think that's like, that's where like we have to understand about ourselves is that we do have the free will and the choice, and it's like we don't have to just
we have more degrees of free will than an animal does or like a plant does. Why would you want to act like a plant and sit in the same spot every day, like growing toward just staring at a light all day? Are you a tumbleweed or are you a person? Or not a tumbleweed, but think of like just a plant that grows upwards towards light. No other purpose but light. So you just want to stare at your little cell phone, and your face grows closer and closer, and all of a sudden
your
your
neck, your
face,
spine, your eyes are gone, you're blind.
Your face osmoses to the screen, and then you don't even have to like use your hands anymore because it's just part of your face, and now you're walking around bumping into shit.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I ask myself the same questions. You know what I mean? It's like I have all these things that I put into action, and I'm making them occur, and I'm making sure I do them, and I'm not like overtaking my task, but I'm learning how to succeed so I can handle more later on. And then I look at people, and it's like